SC.5.E.7.1. Create a model to explain the parts of the water cycle. Water can be a gas, a liquid, or a solid, and can go back and forth from one state to another. Target 3. Identify the ways in which the water cycle moves water from one state to another. Target 3. Identify the ways in which the water cycle moves water from one state to another. The sun and changes in altitude or height above sea level move water back and forth in state from a liquid to a gas. When it's cold enough, water can be changed into a solid as part of the water cycle. Snow, sleet, and hail are all solid forms of water that can occur. At sea level, the sun heats the air above land quicker than the air above the oceans and lakes. Heat in the oceans and lakes is absorbed or soaked up by those bodies of water. As the air above land warms, it begins to rise into the atmosphere. As that warm air begins to rise, cool, moist air above the oceans and lakes moves in to fill its place. This movement of air is called wind. Cool, moist air that came from the oceans is now over land, where it will be heated by the sun's energy. As it is heated, it rises, and the cycle continues. The air above land now carries moisture from air above oceans and lakes. This air warms and rises, and as it rises, temperature decreases. As the temperature decreases, water vapor will begin to condense and form droplets of liquid water that are light enough to float in the air. When enough of these droplets are collected in the air, a cloud forms. This cycle of evaporation, rising air, and condensation is driven by the sun and changes in elevation above sea level. When water evaporates, everything in the original body of water is left behind. Only water molecules evaporate. This means that all the fish are still in the ocean, and so is the salt. When ocean water evaporates, salt is left behind, and only freshwater vapor rises to form clouds. Compare these two satellite images of Florida. They were taken on the same day. One in the morning and one in the afternoon. Image 1, taken in the morning, shows few clouds in the sky. The clouds that are visible are cirrus clouds, high in the atmosphere. These clouds generally do not produce rain. As the sun's energy heats the surface of the land on this particular morning, warm air over the land began to rise, drawing in moist maritime air from the oceans to take its place. The wind started to blow. As the moist maritime air was heated, it began to rise until it was high enough in elevation to cool, condense, and form clouds. This resulted in the cotton ball cumulus clouds that appear all over the peninsula of Florida later that same day. But notice, no clouds have formed above the ocean, the Gulf of Mexico, or Lake Okeechobee. All of that moisture was drawn up over the land, and that's where the cumulus clouds appeared. The sun's energy warms the surface of the earth unevenly, moving air. This moving air is felt as wind. As moist air is heated and rises in the atmosphere, changes in elevation cool and condense water vapor back into water droplets that form clouds. This is how the sun and changes in elevation change water back and forth between states.